In the highly competitive world we live in today, especially in the IT world, it is really surprising to come across something that is totally underwhelming. And underwhelming is an understatement for the business hours element from ElementsKit for Elementor. I have this page here for my Contact Us page, and this is this element. It's called the business hours element. And what it does, it gives you the days, and then it gives you the hours in which those days you are operating. And it also has this divider here. But let me explain to you by showing how I built this out, why I think this is a element. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a good wherever you are. Websites for beginners. My name is JP, and in this tutorial, we're looking at the business hours element. It is an add-on for Elementor. Really nice if you are using Elementor free and you want something pro to add on, especially if you're looking for a lifetime deal, then the ElementsKit is the one that you can consider. Check the link in the description below. Make sure you activate this element in the backend within WordPress because it's not on by default. But once you have activated it, let's search for business, and you're going to see we have the business hours here, and there's that little label in the top right-hand corner, which tells us this is from ElementsKit. Click, hold, and drag and drop, and it drops in. What we have here on the left in the settings pane is that you have items for the days, and you can actually add more. So if you have an example on Monday, you have a Monday morning and a Monday evening, you can add more than one. This is not strictly adhering to the concept of specific days. You can have different schedules. So even if you have a roster for a gym class, you can put them all up here. You can think outside, not only using this for business hours. The first thing I want to do is change Tuesday to the proper spelling. And let's quickly do that. And while we are here, you can see what this is going to do. You are going to have the day, which you type in there, or the session. And that's why I say don't just think in terms of days. You can think also sessions if you have some kind of training or coaching that you want to do. And then you add the time there. And again, you can think outside the box. Then you have highlight this day. If I toggle this on, it's going to turn red because that is the default. And you see Sunday and Saturday already set to red. You can change that. You have a color for the day, color for the time, and you can also apply a background color. But with all of this, so if I do apply a background color, something really, you see it becomes a little bit funky. You can create alternate lines if you want to have like a soft gray, something like this. And then every second line will have this color. Then you just copy this one and change out the details. I'll just reset that one and I'll deactivate it. And that's the settings for all of them. There is nothing more to that, which is cool because that's what I expect. The second thing here is that you can reorder them. So I want my Saturday and my Sunday at the end. Makes it very easy. I just drag them to the bottom. And that is in terms of the content. Again here, this is exactly what I expected to do. Where I am a little bit is when it comes to styling. First, let's go to the day. And for the day, you can see we have the color. You can change the color for the days. You have the typography. Then you have background type if you want to put a color for that. And that will be for the entire column. And you have border radius and padding that you can apply here. I'll go to typography. I want to reduce the size. And I'll type in 16 here. I like that. It fits in with the rest of my site. And since I've put that on 16, I'll also go to time, typography, and select or type in 16 as well. This really looks very neat to me. Now what I want to do next is that I want to style it out a little bit. But before we do that, let's save and go preview it on the front end how it currently looks. So you can see we have that line, the separator, and then we have a box with a shadow. And the first challenge we're going to run into is that separator. Item is an interesting one. I think these are the days, and you will not really find anything here. If I go to background type and we just choose a color to show you, that is the entire section. So that is if you want to have a color for the background, but you can see there is still that margin that appears there that is not included. So even if you change that color, you're still going to have that extra margin that's not going to accept that color. That is a very interesting setting, which I don't get. So for the margin and the padding, that is your inner content that you will be applying here. Then we get border type. And this is the only setting here that's going to give you border type. If you go to day, you're going to see there's a border radius. If you go to time, same thing, border radius. Let's activate border type and we put it on solid. And this is where things fall apart. I've played around with this one to see how I can change out this border, make it thinner, and there is just absolutely nothing I can do about it. I can put it on 1 pixel, but if you notice there at the bottom, it doesn't translate through to all of these. And I can go to my content. Let's move Monday now just somewhere here. And you see it stays like that. So the bottom part doesn't want to give me a border. And it's not only in the back end. When I go to the front, it's going to look exactly the same. Back to style. So the border type doesn't work. You have to set it on default, or at a minimum, you have to put it on none. These are the 2 options you have. The rest all have a bug. It's not going to work. So in terms of styling it out with nice borders or dotted borders, you can forget about that. When we go to day, you'll see there's a border radius, but no border type. And the same for time. Border radius and no border type. And what is more perplexing is there is absolutely no box shadow here, even though we clearly see there's a shadow applied when you view it on the front end. This means what you see is kind of locked in. And it's great. Actually, what I have here for this site, this is perfect. Not this. No, that is crap. This is perfect. Let's just refresh that. I really like this, except I want to remove that shadow, which I can't. So I think ElementsKit, they need to go back and have a look at this one. It seems they made this one late at night, and then after that, they completely forgot about it. You need to give us styling for the shadow here, maybe some borders, and go fix the bug. But if you guys are happy, as it is, just to have a quick business section where you can put it like this. And when I say put it like this, this is actually very complex and takes a long time to build it out by yourself if you want to have a column here and a column there. So it's great that you can have this plugin. It's just a major pity. It is a little buggy or a lot buggy and so limited in features. That is the business hours element from ElementsKit for Elementor. And I am JP for Websites for Beginners. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.